Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our time together. I'm Lori Lamantia, and I'm here with the very creative Trisha Fisk.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
everybody.
And today we're working on allow, which is the fifth step in the conscious creating through yoga process. And it's one of the most wonderful ones in that if we could really lean into our abundance experience of life, knowing that abundance is flowing with us and through us at all times, allowing is just a natural experience that we allow the great wonderfulness to bless our lives, to bring us the things we've said we want to create. So, today we're going to do a deeper dive into the felt sense understanding of what allowance is. And, when I first started doing this, allow as a word that actually I didn't feel comfortable with. And as I journeyed through the concept and the new understanding of allow, it really is something that's a flow experience versus boy, I better allow, otherwise I can't have my creation. And so that's what we're gonna do a deeper dive on today. And I'm gonna let Trisha Todd come in and say, how would you define allow? What is allow to you?
Right. So, a lot of times, I think when we're opening to this process of conscious creating, we get over focused on, I need to do this. I have this to do list that I have to do. And allowing is just as important. I mean, there often are steps we need to take for our conscious creation to come in, but allowing is really important too, because it gets us out of our own way. Because Lori and I have talked before about often we don't think high enough or big enough. We're
Mhm.
stuck in, this belief that this is as much as I can ask for, this is as much as I can have. And allowing is opening to the universe saying, go ahead, drop it on me, like throw it on me, let it come in. And I want to share in the book, it's called, and it's perfect time for this time of year too, Let the Tomatoes Come to You.
Amazing.
When they're ready, they will drop into your hands, sun, earth, wind, and rain. The smell of your hands is summer, and the world is round. Hold a tomato to your ear and hear the green plant grinding to a halt. Its work is done. Let the tomatoes come to you in a red velvet sauce, murmuring to garlic, asking it over and over to let itself go, slow dancing in a pot on the stove. Let the tomatoes run like lava over pasta ears and shells, angel hair, butterflies, and rings. Let the tomatoes come to you in a bowl from Umbria with a blue dot deep in its navel. Let there be cheese from Parma and green ribbons of basil succumbing to heat and tomato love. Let there be friends by candlelight, Chianti roughing their faces with laughter. Let the time come to fullness. Let the time come to fullness. Let the warmth spread. And when you're ready, let the tomatoes come to you.
Mm.
Let them come to you. Angela Just. So that's where we're at in the process now, letting it come to you.
It's funny when you were reading that poem, Angela Just is one of my really good friends, is a beautiful poet. And that poem came just at the right time as I was putting the book together for the allow part. And I think there's just some magic that we just are so busy, our minds are so busy kind of trying to make stuff happen that the allowing for the magic to happen is it's not it should be natural, but I think on some level we think it's not possible, so we work really hard
Right.
and kind of let go of the allowing part. And that's what we're asking us to do now is let the tomatoes come to us and ripen. And part of the journey is kind of flowing through that whole experience. But it is, and I wanted to say, coming when we walk into this journey or walk through life from an abundance perspective, we just feel like it's all happening and it's all magical. And when we come from a scarcity perspective, we get scared and we're not sure.
Right,
And that changes everything. It changes the whole dynamic of the way things unfold.
right. And I would suggest take at least 15 minutes every day and just sit with allow. For these 15 minutes, I'm going to let myself, going to allow the universe to speak to me and flow to me. You might be a more visual person, so see all the tomatoes coming. And honestly, the timing for that is perfect
Right? Yeah, we're here right in the middle of summer going into
right
fall.
now. So just
Harvest.
spend some time every day to experience what it's like to allow. Because we, like you're saying, we don't. We're a to-do list culture. These are all the things I have to do in order to have that. So allowing can be a totally new thing for a lot of people.
And, because our minds get in the way. And when I was feeling into this, I was like, oh, there's a whole bunch of different, because I was playing with, well, what other felt sense words would people maybe embrace if allows to, doesn't set well. And, welcoming. I love that feeling of welcome. Come to my home. I open the door and I let you in. Or accept. Uh, I accept the gifts of life. Again, weird words. Some people are like, I don't like that word. Yes, just
Surrender,
say yes. Yeah.
yeah, surrender is another one that,
Surrender, which is kind of another
right?
yeah, a version. Receive. Well, a lot of times people use allow and receive very interchangeably. Again, that one might sit well better with you or less. The key is which one feels like um, a flow experience in your body, not just in your mind. And that's what Trisha was just saying. And I love what you were just saying about take that 15 minutes. And if everything in the world was just, you didn't have to worry about a thing and you could just be there like you sometimes are on vacation on the beach, that felt sense is the experience of allow. It has a version of trust in there too for me.
Even if you saw it as rays of sun, just receiving, allowing yourself to
Right.
receive rays of sun. Because, and again, it depends on how visual you are. If you're a visual person, use an image. If you're not,
Hmm.
if you're a more logical person, find your words. Find your words. And then I want to share. So last year, working with my teacher, Rod Stryker, I did the Four Desires. I repeated it. I've done it probably 10 times.
Yeah.
It was time to repeat it. And he really encouraged me to totally rewrite my Dharma code, which is the code to live by and trust. And so my Dharma code is that I live with infinite potential. I relax. I'm empowered. My Viveka is empowered, which is discernment. Viveka is a Sanskrit word for discernment in all the choices I make and all my relationships. I have the enthusiasm to create prosperity and abundance. So, not out of fear, but out of excitement.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
then ultimately, just gratitude for this life
mhm.
and everything that shows up for me, everything I allow to show up, right? So, it's a wonderful reminder.
And it came from you. I love
Yeah.
that it came from you. When we do the four desires, everybody, because everybody's such a beautiful expression of the unlimited, has their own way of putting it. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I relax.
Yes.
I
It's
can relax.
intentionally open.
Hmm.
I'm not, that was very intentional for me. I'm not measuring anything like, oh,
Hmm.
this is working because there's a
Right.
measurement involved. I really want it to be open.
Right.
I'm
And I
still,
think, go ahead.
right, I'm still learning.
Oh, totally. It's a journey. The allowing journey is a journey. Um, but I think that's another aspect of allow, right? Is can relax.
Yes,
Uh, that and that not measuring. Thank you for saying that because keeping score
mhm,
is kind of antithetical to the allowing experience because when we know it's happening, we don't have to keep score. The answer is yes. So why would I? It's that human part that keeps wanting to verify, am I on the right road? Did I do it right? And I love the relaxed part, and of course not measuring because it does take you out of it can take you out of the flow
of allowing.
of
Right,
allowing.
right.
Yeah, for sure. I also put in my notes that it becomes easy. Allow when you plug your toaster into the toaster, the electrical outlet, you don't the flow happens. And so it's easy. Toasting is easy when you're plugged in and you're allowing. Toasting does not happen when you're not plugged in. You can put the toast in up and down, up and down. You can press the button 1,000 ways. No toast is going to happen unless you plug in. And so I love what you said about 15 minutes and that to me is really meditation. It's marinating in that feeling of flow, sunlight, whatever it is.
Right. So it's not just a mental thing, it's a physical thing of feeling. That's why if you're a visual person, use a visual of sun rays or tomatoes, unlimited
Yeah, an
tomatoes.
abundance.
Yeah, whatever inspires you.
And it's
You
one of the reasons why I love yoga,
Mhm.
right? Yoga, the practice of yoga puts your body in an aligned state. So when you go into, when you meditate or when you go into Shavasana, you are really when I do after a practice, I can feel that allowing experience. I can relax,
Yes, and feel instead of having to do.
right?
Definitely. I wanted to share. So I had someone come to my class 2 weeks ago, and I think I shared this last time we spoke. She shared with me that when she left, she was in such a good space, she bought donuts on her way home for
Yeah,
kids.
that was
The
great.
kids were so delighted, they kept saying, please go back to yoga class again. And she did. And she shared a poem that she wrote right before class that's really lovely, and I wanted to share it.
Isn't it funny how that's the other thing, how inspiration just pours through.
Yes. So, my love, you are good just as you are, and if you ever forget, look up at the stars. My love, you are good, so wild and free. If you ever forget, take a walk through the trees. My love, you are good with all of your features. If you ever forget, just notice the creatures. My love, you are good, filled with light so divine. If you ever forget, just do something kind. My love, you are good and gifted with wisdom. If you ever forget, just sit still and listen. My love, you are good with a drum as your guide. If you ever forget, feel it beating inside. My love, you are good and are never alone. If you ever forget, just breathe and you're home. Mary Megan Bagnall.
Holy smokes.
Isn't that beautiful?
I have goosebumps. I'm
That is
gonna cry.
a poem about allowing.
That, oh my gosh. That should be on her wall in a giant poster.
I told her she should publish it.
She absolutely should. Oh my gosh, is that a stunning poem? That's the divine talking to her. Oh my gosh. That's what the divine always wants to do. It's always doing. Oh wow. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mary.
This
What's who say your student's name again?
okay, hang on. I closed it up. Mary Megan Bagnall.
Thank you, Mary.
AGN.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I guess we don't really have to say anything more.
That says it all.
In a beautiful, and that's the other thing I love about the divine. It's so it's so brilliant beyond our little minds again that you were trying with all these words and just
Right. And so simple, and we make everything so complicated.
right. Easy. I think I do want to write the book Easy Street. Easy. Can't it be life easy? And it's funny because over the weekend I sent Trisha this podcast, and it's these people talking about becoming entrepreneurs and how to do social media and all this stuff. And it was really after I listened to like 45 minutes, my energy just felt drained. I was like, I wandered around the house like a zombie after listening to them because I was so overwhelmed with, oh, that's how do you do all that? Oh my God. It was just so, I was so overwhelmed. And this morning I woke up and I'm like, Trisha should not listen to that. It's just not, it's not easy. They didn't make it, it just felt, I felt so hard. And it was draining of the magic. And so I was like, Trisha should not stay in the yogic place so that you don't get drained and you don't get, because the divine works in divine ways. And those lovely people who are very much trying to share what it's like to be an entrepreneur and how to be a successful entrepreneur. I appreciated what they were doing, but when I was wiped out after listening to them, I'm like, this isn't an alignment for me. My discernment, in fact, I shut it off. I can't listen to any more of it, even though that's what we used to teach in business school and yada yippee yappy yippee. And I was like, "Bleh, easy, slow. When you forget, play with the creatures, you know. That should be the business book. That poem should be the business book. All the other stuff, and then follow your inspiration. And then when you get overwhelmed,
Breathe.
breathe, sit with the stars. Yeah. So, wow, I'm glad you read that poem at the at the end. I feel like I was just smacked upside the head. Um, and I did want to say that when we get in it, and it is a practice sport, right? In some ways, because we're going to keep realigning to that felt sense.
Right.
Um, and allowing can become natural, I think, as time goes on. And that's what I wanted to say to you. Instead of listening to that podcast, you're already in the allow. You already you get your inspiration, you try it on with your discernment, you kind of feel in and check in with your body, and then you decide. And that flow, that process, that's better than any business book about how to become an entrepreneur because it's trusting yourself. And I do trust. That's what allow is too, is I trust that to me that abundance experience, right? I'm allowing and I know I can, and I know there's an abundance of magic and wonder and gloriousness for me as well as everyone else.
Beautiful. So I think that poem said it all.
It did. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. If she ever publishes it, please let me know where she publishes it because, and if she wants us to put it in one of her book, I mean, that should be all over the world.
I agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So is there, well, I had one other thing that I put in my notes, but I don't know if I think the word finding those felt sense, the whole body yes is what, just feel into it until you feel it, the allow, and
Yes,
then stay there.
yes.
So we're going to stay there right now with that beautiful poem. Okay. Okay, everyone, have a wonderful week. We look forward to hanging out with you next week and really enjoy those 15 minutes of allowing.
And yes, remember that poem.
100%. Namaste.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.